Like, but I had to figure. I'm like, okay, I have to figure out my spacing.
I'm very tired of all of the lies. I've been hearing things, and, and seeing things on lies, and I'm just.
The drama surrounding Jay-Z's legal troubles has everyone talking, and it's no surprise why, with allegations piling up, connections to other high-profile figures, and rumors of behind-the-scenes schemes. This situation is starting to look like something out of a Hollywood thriller. But what's really turning heads is the unexpected name that could play a pivotal role in these unfolding events. R.Kelly. Yes, you heard that right. The disgraced R&B singer, currently serving time for his own long list of transgressions, is now being whispered about as a potential key witness in the legal maelstrom engulfing Jay-Z. R.Kelly. But how did we even get here? Let's break it all down.
That's life. Everything is life. It happens for you. Everything is for your greatest good.
To understand why R.Kelly's name is being tossed around in connection with Jay-Z's current woes, we need to rewind to the early 2000s, back when the two artists were collaborating on what should have been a groundbreaking project. The music world was buzzing with excitement when Jay-Z and R.Kelly teamed up for their joint album, The Best of Both Worlds. On paper, it was a match made in heaven. Hip-hop royalty meets R&B genius. But behind the scenes, things were anything but harmonious.
You feel that people have maligned your character?
I have been assassinated. I have been buried alive. But I'm alive.
So I think the point you're making is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I? Well, how stupid would you ever help R.Kelly? With all I've been through in my way past.
Insiders later revealed tensions between the two stars were simmering even during the recording sessions. Jay-Z, known for his meticulous approach to business and music, reportedly grew frustrated with R.Kelly's erratic behavior and lack of professionalism. Meanwhile, R.Kelly allegedly felt overshadowed and sidelined by Jay-Z's domineering presence. Their personalities were like oil and water. Jay-Z was all about precision and control, while R.Kelly thrived in chaos and spontaneity. The clashing egos set the stage for what would eventually become one of the most infamous feuds in music history.
We talked about that, and then we just said how much conflict they was experiencing.
But the real drama began to unfold during their ill-fated Best of Both Worlds tour. From the very start, the tour was plagued by issues. R.Kelly reportedly showed up late to rehearsals or skipped them altogether, and there were constant complaints about the production. Things reached a boiling point during a show at Madison Square Garden, where R.Kelly abruptly left the stage, claiming he saw someone in the audience threatening him. What happened next was the stuff of tabloid headlines. As R.Kelly tried to return to the stage, he was pepper-sprayed by a member of Jay-Z's entourage. The fallout was immediate and brutal. R.Kelly was dropped from the tour, lawsuits were filed on both sides, and the partnership imploded in spectacular fashion. Fast forward to today, and that messy history is starting to look like more than just a clash of egos. Some are speculating that the bad blood between Jay-Z and R.Kelly might have deeper roots that could now resurface as the legal spotlight intensifies on Jay-Z. R.Kelly, who's been embroiled in his own legal battles for years, has nothing to lose at this point. Could he leverage his past interactions with Jay to strike a deal or settle old scores? The possibility has tongues wagging, especially given the whispers that R.Kelly might have dirt on Jay-Z that have never been made public.
Before he did, he was getting depressed. Felt like was coming from Jay-Z. Jay-Z was trying to basically.
And let's not forget the timing. The allegations against Jay-Z are unfolding in the shadow of the explosive legal case against Diddy, another music mogul who's been accused of heinous behavior spanning decades. Diddy's situation has already exposed a darker side of the entertainment industry with allegations of manipulation, exploitation, and worse at his infamous parties. These claims have sent shockwaves through the industry, and many are wondering if Jay-Z could be the next domino to fall after all the ties between these two. Run Deep has collaborated on music, attended the same events, and moved in the same elite circles for years. If Diddy's case opens the floodgates, who's to say Jay-Z won't be swept up in the tide?
It might sound outrageous, but he felt like Jay-Z wanted to get him or whatever.
But where does R.Kelly fit into all of this? For starters, his history with Jay-Z is riddled with tension and controversy, making him a wild card in this unfolding saga. Some insiders believe Kelly might be willing to testify or provide information that could bolster the cases against Jay-Z, especially if it serves his own interests. After all, Kelly has a long history of alleged misconduct that overlaps with some of the same circles Jay-Z has moved in, and he has been a witness to or even a participant in incidents that are now coming under scrutiny. It's a chilling thought, but one that's hard to ignore given the tangled web of connections in this story.
R. Kelly was saying that Jay-Z funded the downfall plus the documentary.
And then there's the matter of credibility. R. Kelly's reputation is, to put it mildly, in tatters. His convictions have made him one of the most reviled figures in music. But in the world of legal battles, even a disgraced figure like R. Kelly can be a valuable asset if he has information that corroborates other claims or fills in gaps in the narrative. If he were to come forward with details about Jay-Z's alleged behavior, it could tip the scales in ways we can't yet predict.
Attorneys for disgraced Chicago musician R. Kelly have filed a petition to the U.S. Supreme Court to review his conviction for federal crime.
Of course, this is all speculation. For now, there's no hard evidence that R. Kelly is poised to take the stand against Jay-Z or that he even has information relevant to the current allegations. But the mere possibility is enough to send shockwaves through the entertainment industry. After all, this isn't just about one man's legal troubles. It's about the broader culture of secrecy and complicity that's allowed powerful figures to operate with impunity for so long.
R&B star R. Kelly is fighting to overturn his conviction that sent him to prison for 30 years. His attorneys argue federal prosecutors in Brooklyn failed to prove Kelly's acts were part of a criminal enterprise.
And speaking of secrecy, let's not overlook the role of Roc Nation in all of this Jay-Z's entertainment. Empire has been a juggernaut in the music industry, but it's also been accused of using its influence to silence critics and control narratives. The leaked voicemails and allegations of coercion and bribery tied to Roc Nation are painting a picture of an organization willing to go to extreme lengths to protect its founder. If these claims are true, it raises serious questions about the lengths to which Jay-Z's team will go to shield him from scrutiny.
To name people in these lawsuits, we're not going to do it in interviews. We're not going to do it, without doing our due diligence, because obviously, these types of allegations.
As the legal battles continued to unfold, one thing is clear: the stakes couldn't be higher. Jay-Z has built an empire on his image as a savvy businessman and cultural icon, but that image is now under threat. Whether it's R. Kelly, Diddy, or the growing list of accusers, the walls seem to be closing in, and while Jay-Z has denied all wrongdoing and vowed to fight these allegations, the court of public opinion is already weighing in, and the verdict isn't looking good. What makes this situation even more explosive is the sheer number of moving parts. It's not just about Jay-Z and R. Kelly's fraught history or the allegations against Diddy. It's about the broader implications for an industry that's long been criticized for its culture of exploitation. If these cases lead to more revelations or even more accusers coming forward, it could spark a reckoning that changes the industry forever.
Arguably the defense's biggest asset in this case was the complexity and arguably the awkwardness of applying federal racketeering charges to a person who now is convicted of using his business in order to satisfy his urges. It's not the traditional application of racketeering law. Normally that's been applied to mafia-type defendants.
But for now, all eyes are on Jay-Z, and the swirling rumors about what's next will R. Kelly's name resurfaces in a way that shifts the narrative will have more ties to the Diddy scandal come to light. And most importantly, will the truth finally come out no matter how messy or uncomfortable it may be? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over, and the next chapter is shaping up to be even more explosive than the.
This conviction is the latest in a long line of prosecutions by this office to protect women and vulnerable minors from.
Deeper you dive into the tangled web of Jay-Z's controversies, the messier it gets. If you thought the first half of this story was wild, buckle up, because now we're stepping into the murkier waters of the accusations against him, his alleged connections to shady dealings and the whispers about those closest to him. This isn't just about lawsuits and celebrity feuds. It's about a legacy potentially crumbling under the weight of secrets, scandals, and betrayals. And the more you peel back the layers, the harder it is to tell where the truth ends and the rumors begin.
Explosive in the last. First, what they experienced at his hands or the threats and harassment they faced in telling the truth about what happened to them. We hope that today's verdict brings some measure of comfort and closure to the victims.
The deeper you dive in.
Let's start with the most chilling claims, those revolving around Jay-Z's alleged misconduct, which have dragged in names like Foxy Brown and sparked whispers about unspeakable behavior for years. Rumors have swirled about his relationship with Foxy, who was just a teenager when she came onto the scene as Rockefeller's first lady. Their collaborations were electric, but behind the music, there were always questions. People whispered about whether their relationship went beyond the studio and into morally questionable territory. Foxy herself has never publicly confirmed these allegations, but there are enough breadcrumbs to keep the speculation alive.
She is, just her name alone just defines greatness, right? You know, it's like just her.
Back in 2019, Dame Jay-Z's former business partner was asked about the situation during an interview with Nick Cannon. When pressed on whether Jay-Z's relationship with Foxy was inappropriate given her young age, Dash dodged the question, saying, "I wasn't paying attention to Foxy Brown. I didn't sign Foxy Brown." His deflection only added fuel to the fire, making people wonder what he might know but wasn't willing to say. Wendy Williams never wanted to shy away from controversy and once hinted that Foxy and Jay-Z were romantically involved before Beyoncé entered the picture. She hid it before Beyoncé. Wendy said during her show, laughing at the audience's gasp, whether this is true or just another layer of gossip, it's one of those stories that refuses to fade away.
See, there's no artist, be clear, there's no artist in this industry that's doing major numbers with these platforms that haven't sold this.
And speaking of Beyoncé, her role in all of this raises even more questions. For years she's been seen as Jay-Z's equal, his partner in building an empire that spans music, fashion, and business. But some are now wondering if Beyoncé is more than just a bystander in this saga. Could she be an accomplice in keeping certain truths hidden? Or is she, as some have speculated, trapped in a relationship that's more about business than love?
This is what I look for. When I see a success, I'm looking for anything
to say that they didn't do it on their own.
Yeah, detain it, not to say it.
It is not to say there's a growing conversation about the power dynamics in Jay-Z and Beyoncé's marriage. They first started dating when she was just 18, fresh off her rise to fame with Destiny's Child. Jay-Z at that time was already in his third, and a seasoned veteran in the industry. Critics have pointed out the glaring imbalance in experience, influence, and age, suggesting that Beyoncé may have been groomed into a role that suited Jay-Z's larger ambitions. Jaguar Wright, a former collaborator turned outspoken critic of the Carters, has claimed that Beyoncé is being controlled and manipulated by her husband. She's a prisoner in a gilded cage. Wright said in a viral video sparking a wave of speculation about what might really go on behind closed doors, "You can be in love with someone." Next voice. Not just outsiders making these claims. Beyoncé's own music has hinted at the cracks in their seemingly perfect relationship, from the confessions in her Lemonade album to Jay-Z's own admissions of infidelity on 444. Their art has painted a picture of a union that's far more complex than the polished image they present to the public. But even as they've worked through personal issues in the spotlight, the question remains how much of their relationship is real, and how much is a carefully crafted narrative to protect their joint empire.
You can be in love with someone, you can love someone and and if you haven't experienced love and you don't understand it and you don't have the tools to move forward, then you're going to have complications.
Then there's the matter of Diddy. Jay-Z and Diddy have long been seen as two sides of the same coin, powerful figures who shaped the music industry and pushed the boundaries of what it means to be a hip-hop mogul. But with Diddy now facing his own avalanche of allegations, people are starting to wonder how much the two men might have in common behind the scenes. Diddy's infamous parties, described by some as cesspools of debauchery and exploitation, have become a focal point in his legal battles, and while Jay-Z hasn't been directly linked to these events, the parallels between their careers and lifestyles are hard to ignore.
Celebrity couple. We were never a celebrity couple. We were a couple who just happened to be celebrities. Like real people. Yeah.
There's also the question of whether Diddy's downfall could pave the way for Jay-Z. The two have often been compared in terms of their business ventures and influence, But with Diddy's reputation now in tatters, some are predicting a ripple effect that could reach jayz. After all, the entertainment industry is built on connections, and when one domino falls, it's only a matter of time before others follow. If even a fraction of the allegations against jayz are true, the two have often been compared in terms of their business ventures and influence, but with Diddy's reputation now in tatters, some are proven true. It could signal the end of his reign as one of the dominoes falls. It's only a matter of time before others follow. If even a fraction of the allegations against jayz are proven true, it could signal the end of his reign as one of music's untouchable figures. Let's not forget the most damning part of this story, the broader implications of the allegations against jayz. If the claims are true, point to a pattern of behavior that's not just unethical but deeply troubling, and it's not just about jayz. It's about the culture of silence and complicity that's allowed powerful men in the industry to operate with impunity for decades.
But after that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about jayz and his.
One of the most shocking aspects of this culture is the way it's been normalized. Take, for example, the allegations surrounding Alia and her relationships with older men in the industry. While much of the focus has been on her connection to R. Kelly, there have also been whispers about her ties to jayz.
R. Kelly's
Dame
reputation
Dash, who dated Alia before her
mildly,
untimely passing, has claimed that both he and jayz were enamored with her, but he was the one who ultimately won her heart in a 2019 interview. Dash said everybody was trying to get to Alia, it wasn't just Jay. These comments have led some to speculate that jayz's interest in Alia might have gone beyond professional admiration, further complicating his already murky legacy. And then there's the shadow of the Illuminati, which has long loomed over jayz's career. While many dismiss these theories as baseless conspiracy nonsense, they persist nonetheless, fueled by his frequent use of occult imagery in his music and branding, from the triangle hand sign to the references to secret societies. Jayz has leaned into the mystique, whether as a marketing ploy or something deeper. Some conspiracy theorists even claim that Alia's tragic passing was,
and that's the sad part, because whether it's a real lawsuit or something that you just shooting to see if you can get some money, you can sue anybody for anything. But the sad thing about it is, if the person loses their suing, nothing happens.
Orchestrated to make way for Beyoncé, allowing her to rise as the new queen of R&B. While there is no concrete evidence to support these claims, they add another layer of intrigue to an already complex story. As for what happens next, it's anyone's guess, with more accusers reportedly preparing to come forward and legal battles brewing on multiple fronts. Jayz is facing a storm that could reshape not only his career but the entire entertainment industry. The question now is whether he can weather it, or if this is the beginning of the end for one of music's most iconic figures. For now, the public is left to sift through the rumors, ACC accusations, and hard truths, trying to make sense of a story that seems to grow more convoluted by the day. And as more details come to light, one thing is clear: the world will be watching every twist and turn, waiting to see if the man who once declared himself not a businessman but a businessman can survive the biggest challenge of his career. Whatever happens, one thing is certain: the story is far from over, and the fallout is just beginning. As the drama surrounding Jayz continues to unfold, the questions only multiply. Could R. Kelly's potential testimony truly shake the foundations of Jayz's empire? And how deep do the ties between Jayz, Diddy, and others in the industry really go? The comments section is open, and the viewers are eager to hear your thoughts. Could the allegations against Jayz signal a broader reckoning in the entertainment industry, or is this just another storm that will eventually blow over? Share your insights and let the discussion begin. Until next time, stay tuned for more celebrity gossip and intrigue. Goodbye for now.